Good morning. Good morning. I am realizing more and more that I just need to grab the camera and bring it out with me because especially this time of year, so many things are popping every morning. So aside from grabbing a picker basket and my clippers, I'm going to try to start bringing you guys and gals along a lot more with me. If you are new here, my name's Michelle and this is my meadow. I'm gardening in zone 9B in Northeast Florida in a suburban lot. We are just trying and growing here now for about 5 years, 6 years. I just started growing here, living here. And so I'm just sharing that journey with you. And I realized there is just so much that goes on and grows on around here between garden tours and, you know, showing you guys how I'm doing specific things. I just want to kind of show you what my days are like some days. And so today, since it's a Saturday, is one of those days. The other thing I'm getting better at is getting on me some protection before I tackle the cucumbers. And it's not sunny this morning, but I have to show you guys this because it's really cute, but I don't need it this morning, is a new hat. A new hat. My wife is Asian, and so she picked this up at a market, and so it's not bad. It's lightweight. It actually stays on better than I thought. So you may see these in some upcoming videos, just different than my other one. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't have an update on the cucumber condo because my Katrina seedlings did not make it. So I've ordered more seeds, and we'll keep trying this, even though it's going to be late getting the cucumber started. Maybe, heck, there'll be fall cucumbers by the time I get around to this, but I'm excited to be able to do that. And this morning I got to pick some other cucumbers. I've been pretty excited that we haven't had too much pickle worms. And then when I started going back and looking, it turns out I'm just early. Pickle worms don't get here for another couple weeks. So maybe I was too excited for nothing, but time will tell because we've had lots and lots of cucumbers. So that makes me very happy in and of itself. So, because cucumbers are wonderful. It's kind of cool to come out here and harvest a bunch every day. We've been sharing with Mom, been making cucumber salad, sharing with friends. It's been great. Like we love cucumbers, so the fact that these volunteers have done so well for us just makes it even better. That's a tomorrow cucumber. Now, to me, the hardest part of growing cucumbers is not missing them because they hide so well. You have to become like an inspector. You have to become an inspector and get really like eagle eyes to find them hiding sometimes. I love it on the trellis though, because that makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier. No, that's a tomorrow cucumber. I saw someone ask, I think it was on Facebook, a friend of mine asked like when to pick cucumbers. I think every variety is different, you know, smaller, it's crisper. I kind of like about this size here. Once you start seeing, at least for me, once you start seeing the colors going yellow, definitely it's time. Once you start seeing it swell and you don't have any ridges in it, it's time. I just picked some different sizes here. These are really crispy at this size, you know, and this is a little less crispy. So sometimes it's just flavor and texture. I usually pick probably around this size. I used to try to wait and get it as big as I could because I wanted to maximize what I was collecting. Like, you know, you're learning to garden, you want to get as much from what you're growing as you can. And I found that I'm actually better off not trying to maximize. I'm better off picking early and often. Speaking of, I gotta go high. I gotta go high up there because you end up getting more cucumbers. And so this year I have focused on getting them just as they get somewhere between here and here. And this is probably 6 volunteer plants and for the last 2 to 3 weeks, I harvest 3 to 7 cucumbers almost every day. Plenty for us, so that has worked out well. And then as the cucumber condo gets going, then we'll be able to shift and have some more. All right, I reached it, though I don't like getting my face in these things. I've probably shared more than a few times now my adverse reaction to the cucumber vines. So I'll have to make sure I go in and soap up and clean up really good when I'm done. Otherwise, I'll be covered in a lovely, lovely red blotchy patches. And I'm trying to learn how to walk and talk at the same time, you know, which may sound funny. Walking and talking at the same time. Oh, no tomatoes yet. No tomatoes yet over there. Oh, I see one tomato in there. Let me go grab that. Woohoo. Oh man, let's see. Someone already helped themselves. Someone already helped themselves. Okay. The lemon guava, my food hedge here, is really showing off. That is really showing off, man. That is good. So that one, actually I need to cut that tree out of there. That one over there got some extra water this week, which looks like it's been really good for it. The hose broke. Thank goodness it was on a timer. But the hose broke and it got watered for probably a half hour. So that was pretty happy, I'm sure. I have a helper coming today. My goal is that he can help me get this bed all cleaned out because I need the space. I need the space. The bottle gourd is doing really, really well over here though. I think I'm gonna see if I can collect some of the outer leaves on the bok choy. Let me see how this works. And I guess I could move this off too, hopefully. Had that to keep the raccoons off of it for a minute. Set that right there. Oh shoot. Well, I pulled this guy out, so I guess we're harvesting this one. We harvest our first one. All right. I don't know. I know they will head up. I mean, we buy these from the store, but I'm just wondering if I can treat it like a cut and come again and just trim outside leaves. I don't know. If you guys know, feel free to share in the comments. It might be that it's just annoying to do it like this. And so I'm going to cut this little one out that's not getting much sun underneath there. Maybe that's it. See, this one's heading up pretty nicely. So maybe I'll do that. And it's ragtag from the snails getting in there. Thank you, snails. Thank you, snails. Maybe I'll do, okay, so I'm gonna do half and half. I'm gonna thin some. I'm gonna take some and thin, and then to cut the edges off of some. So, has more room to grow for the ones that are in there. Okay. My wife has been on a soup making kick, so this is gonna come in handy in the kitchen. Ragtag and all. You know, I've heard stories that in like Japan and other places, people actually will pay a premium for food that is ragtag like this because they know it hasn't been treated with poisons, which makes complete sense to me, you know, because it hasn't, right? In this case, it is literally fresh out of the garden. That's kind of fun. I'll make a nice little bowl of soup. I spy a nice eggplant under there. Those are doing well. Now that I have that side picked, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my irrigation. I've got sort of a mixed, I've got repairs to do to this faucet here, because why not? So I'll put the drip irrigation on for 90 minutes here. And one of the problems I told y'all I had was I mixed irrigation. I put the garden grid here, which doesn't need 90 minutes of irrigation. And I mixed that in with like these drip line irrigation, and they obviously have different time needs. And so I've got 2 of the garden grids set up here, and I eventually honestly want to replace everything with the garden grids. Most everything I plant in the beds have similar watering needs. You know, I just got to remember to plant like that together, but it's so much easier. I do have a video where I'm doing a comparison between a drip irrigation and the garden grid setup on a bed. But meantime, until I can afford to put the garden grid everywhere, I've decided I'm just going to buy a few more of those mechanical timers like I just used, and just set my main timer at the faucet. Everything comes down here to a manifold. I have the grids mixed together on the same line, and so then at the bottom of the garden grid here, maybe in here, oh, I don't know, maybe that won't work. I thought I would just put a timer. I have to change that. I have to put on a different manifold if I'm going to do that, because just to change the timer, then it'll stop it from running the other way. Okay, so thanks for letting me think that through out loud. So much for that idea. So much for that idea. So for now, what I'm doing is I just turn on the irrigation on this side. I do my little errands, which is about 10 to 20 minutes usually on this side of the garden, if that. Or I set a timer for myself and I come back and I just turn these 2 beds off that have the garden grid on them for now. I will figure this out though. I will figure this out. I tried it without a plan last year. I just did it. And this is what happens sometimes when you don't plan. Wow, that looks really cool. That looks really cool. Let's go down here because I know I have another task I need to do down here. Of course, we have to stop and say hello to the sunflowers. Oh, and the bumblebee. Hi, bumblebee. Hi, bumblebee. The sunflowers are remediating this bed for me, so I'm excited. I also did an experiment in this bed, and I haven't come back and followed up on it as much, but this is garlic chive, and I bought a start at the nursery, and I took what I thought was about half of the garlic chives, and I just separated them and I planted them out. And the other half of them, I separated them, clipped the tops, and planted them out. The ones where I clipped the tops and then transplanted them, and it was on the same day, I didn't like let them rest after I did it, these just did not fill in as well. Now, maybe this has had a little bit more water, maybe this has had a little bit more sunshine, but it seems significantly different. I think I did 8 plants on this end and 7 plants on this end. It's just different. It's just different to me in looking at it. The good news is I can start digging those out and putting them in other places around the garden too, because it makes a great deterrent for some of the pests that would like to eat the same things that I do. I can see the figs are getting closer. We're getting closer. Starting to lighten up a little bit. Very, very cool. And this darling is really coming on up here, so I need another row. Almost every other day now, I need another row of twine, which just makes me happy. Very, very happy. I don't know if this is officially a Florida weave or if this is just twine, but it's working. And that's really what matters the most to me. Like that, and then tell you can come right on through here. Look at there. I'm gonna release you from that one just a little so I can get you up to the next level. And these aren't quite tall enough to go through there yet. And trying to just sort of balance them off a little bit. Stick that one inside there. Now they're starting to put on some growth here. Another volunteer. So laziness paid off. Laziness paid off last year. The basil's looking all right. I think it might be stunted, but we will see. We'll give it a few days there. Some sunshine and plenty of water. Let's see if it doesn't turn around. We'll set this little bounty down and just check on the seedlings that are on the other side. I got the Chinese broccoli, or actually this is Yu Choi Sum mulched in. And my neighbor brought me a curry plant. I need to bring her some cucumbers. I mean, that's like one of the funnest parts, isn't it? I gave the basil, are you playing hide and seek, Moose? I gave the basil some weeding, much needed weeding last night, and starting to go to seed and go to flower. And so we're getting there and put some more seeds in there. I'll water that in this morning. But over here, and I have another video I think coming out. I started tomatillos on this end. It's very late. Who knows what's going to happen, but whatever. I transplanted in okra over here. We've got our Asian long beans or yard long beans there. I planted in some Turkish orange eggplant there, seedlings. And I'm trying something, this might be dumb, but I put in some okra right next to the roselle. This is probably going to crowd each other out. But I needed somewhere that was going to be sunny for the okra, and I have learned a couple of things about my garden. When I started my garden planning, well, not just this year, but every year, all of those trees back there are bare. They're bare because it's winter. And the bananas are bare. And the fig tree that I just showed you guys a minute ago, well, actually there's 2 fig trees up there, it's bare. But guess what? It's not this time of year. Not bare. And so where I thought I had sun and shade in my garden, I actually don't have as much sun in the summer, in the growing season, as I thought. And so I'm gonna have to rethink some things, and it'll be okay. I also put some watermelon in here on the end, and I figure it can drape down and come around the edges, maybe like this. Maybe, we'll see. And then I can't even see these onions. They may have just been too small. I don't see them now. Oh, I see one. I see one. So, oh, there's 2, 3. Oh, good. Okay, maybe they won't all lose it. And then I did some more okra back here behind the roselle and the pepper plant. And I put in some trombosino like I said I was gonna do. The other thing I did, I didn't record. I forgot to hit record the other night. Is these were starts from like Lowe's, and they had a whole bunch of flowers on them. And so the night before I transplanted them, I came through and tried to pick off all the flowers that I could, so that as she gets transplanted, she can focus on getting her roots in the ground and getting established. And these are awfully close together now that I'm looking at this, but I'm just gonna keep failing forward. I'm gonna keep failing forward. I guess that's all that's growing on this morning. I get some more watering done, but those are sort of the things that are happening around here. I really love that you guys have encouraged me to do more vlogs and to share more of the background stuff. And you know, coming from a technical background, I'm always thinking of the reasons to make a video and things that people actually want to see. But it turns out you guys actually like seeing the vlogs, and so I'm going to make more of those, and I hope you'll come along with me. If you want to check out my soil calculator, I'm going to throw that video right up over here. We're very excited about that. My friends developed that, and we have it up on the website at michelleinthemeadow.com/SC, and you can learn how to use it in this video right over here. And until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day.